And so we end how we began, on a balcony in Tokyo, overlooking Tokyo Tower, because time is a flat circle. Time. I never seem to have enough of it. How fast this month has gone by, I can't even articulate it. It's been a blur.
For those keeping score at home, you may have recognized that we've only covered 6 of the 7 Bushido virtues. We have one final one remaining.
Makoto, or honesty. And is there anything in our universe more honest than time itself? Time never lies. Time, as they say, reveals all.
The older I get, the more I value time and timekeepers. Those close to me must have recognized that in the past couple of years, I've gotten really into watches.
I like watches because they're honest. Watches are for people who deeply respect time. They're for people who are equal parts stylish and sentimental.
And you simply cannot tell the story of timekeeping in Japan without talking about Seiko. The Europeans have always claimed dominion in the world of timekeeping and watchmaking. The first mechanical clocks can be traced back to Germany, all the way back in the 13th century. The first wristwatch ever made was by Abraham Louis Breguet for the Queen of Naples. The oldest watch company in the world, Blancpain, was founded back in 1735 in Switzerland, a country that boasts many of the most renowned and storied watchmaking houses today. Seiko's origins trace back to 1881. That's decades before Rolex ever existed, by the way. 22-year-old Kintaro Hattori opened a small shop in Tokyo repairing and selling imported European clocks and watches. After years of tinkering and intimately exploring every inch and working part of these clocks and watches, one day Hattori had the audacity to ask, why not us? So, in 1892, he took his life savings and transformed his small shop into the Seikosha factory to manufacture wall clocks. After finding success, he was ready for the next step. In 1913, Seiko released the Laurel, Japan's first domestically produced wristwatch. Everything was going exactly how Hattori had dreamed. And then it happened. The 1923 Great Kanto earthquake absolutely decimated the city of Tokyo. It destroyed the Seikosha factory and most of Hattori's existing inventory. At the age of 62 years old, Kintaro Hattori had 2 options: accept the outcome as fate and move on, or start all over again. After sweeping up all the debris and ashes, Hattori once again took all the money he had to his name and went to every bank in Tokyo that was still standing to secure financing and start over. In just 4 months, Seiko was back open for business again. The company's first order of business was to replace the nearly 1,500 units of the Laurel that were ordered but destroyed in inventory. When the replacement watches were finally delivered to customers, each came with a handwritten note from Hattori himself, which read, "Your trust is our future." Kintaro Hattori passed away in 1934 at the age of 73, but by then, he had successfully rebuilt his company to a level exceeding that of where it was before the earthquake. The Laurel soon found immense popularity across the country as it became a symbol of Japanese resilience. But while Seiko achieved great success in Japan, breaking into the Swiss-dominated global market was an entirely different challenge. European houses like Patek Philippe and Cartier had cultivated a centuries-old legacy of craftsmanship and luxury. Perhaps fueled by post-war xenophobia, Japanese watches were dismissed as cheap imitations. When Seiko first attempted to break into the American market in the 1950s, they were greeted with condescension. Many department stores like Macy's simply refused the Japanese watchmaker any shelf space. Seiko's reputation abroad only began to shift after the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Seiko, which means precise or precision in Japanese, finally had the opportunity on a world stage to live up to its name. The brand was appointed official timekeeper of the Games, and their stopwatches routinely outperformed Swiss rivals in accurately recording time under pressure. But Seiko's true, legacy-defining, rule-breaking moment came in 1969 with the release of the Astron, the world's first quartz wristwatch. By utilizing a quartz crystal battery, Seiko was able to produce a more accurate watch at a tiny fraction of what the mechanical monopolies of Europe were producing. It triggered what the watch industry coined the quartz crisis and nearly bankrupted the entire Swiss watchmaking industry. Seiko didn't see this as revenge, just innovation. And still, to this very day, Seiko has never abandoned mechanical watchmaking. Through their King Seiko and Grand Seiko lines, they've spent decades committed to crafting and refining high-precision movements and beautiful heritage timepieces.
In the end, that's what this story and this journey has always been about. Time. Nostalgia is about our relationship with the time, about our relationship with the past. I could just as easily pull my phone out of my pocket and point it in the general direction of my stupid little face, and it will tell me the time instantly. When I instead look at my watch, it will take my brain just a moment longer to process that information. It's not the most efficient means of getting that information, but it's a deliberate decision to keep a way of life alive, to keep a legacy and a heritage alive, when, for practical purposes, that doesn't need to exist. Just because something doesn't have a practical purpose to exist doesn't mean that it shouldn't. If our only consideration as a species is to get from point A to point B in the most resource-efficient manner possible, then we are going to sacrifice everything that we love and hold dear as a consequence. Let me be the one to remind you of a very inconvenient reality. My generation will be the last human beings on Earth to have any memory of the analog world. That puts us in a very unique position in terms of the context of human civilization. It makes our memories as valuable as gold dust. It means that our nostalgia isn't something to just chide and throw away carelessly. It's something to hold on to, something to value, something to treasure and learn from. Look, I'm not saying anything revolutionary or groundbreaking. I'm simply saying out loud what you know to be true in your heart and soul. The world that we grew up in is not as the world exists today.
I'm not trying to delude you into thinking that the world that we grew up in was perfect. It wasn't. The world has always been imperfect, and it always will be. But I believe that the world that we grew up in, these virtues, these words like honor and respect and compassion and justice, they meant something. At the very least, they meant more than what they do today.
And it's because our pursuit of convenience is destroying us. Convenience bypasses discomfort, and discomfort is an essential human experience. Discomfort builds character. You know, people come to this country and they walk away saying, wow, Japan is living in the future. They couldn't be more wrong. I hope that you don't come here and make that same observation. It's a surface level observation made by surface level people who experience surface level emotions. Why? Because they have fancy toilets, they have robots, and I get it. That's Tokyo, maybe Osaka. But the rest of Japan, I don't think that statement does justice to how this country and this culture values its relationship with time. There is perhaps no other culture, no other country in the world that lives with the intentionality in the present to preserve the past as Japan does, because that is the only way in the future to survive. I leave you with a quote from a former president of my alma mater, Atticus Haygood at Emory University. It's a quote that has been replaying in my head for some reason over the last few days. It's a quote that, walking around campus, I remember seeing on little billboards and posters, and it's, let us stand by what is good and make it better if we can. Only if we can. My name is Rabansa Mukherjee from Rare Candy, and thank you for watching.